Okay, so let us start. So our last lecture we have introduced the basic concept of the differential amplifier, and the primary use of the differential amplifier was to like uh, suppress the noise. So there were two types of noises. One was because of the noise in the input itself, and the second noise could be the noise in the power supply. So today what we are going to do is we are going to see the different kinds of differential amplifier. So my advice to you is that you will start making this particular differential amplifier, and we will slightly modify this and see the noise performance of the signal of this particular amplifier when we actually apply some kind of a input signal. So first what you can see is a MOSFET differential amplifier without a noise source. That means we are seeing the differential amplifier, the gain and everything, in the absence of noise, and that is how we are trying to like measure the performance of the device. So you can see here that you have your resistances RD1 and RD2 which are equal, and W by L of both the transistors. If you go inside, if you right click on that, you will see 100 by 2, and here also this is 100 by 2, and when you write 100 by 2 it is like 100 microns, so you can write that as well. And we have two inputs, V in 1 and V in 2. Now we have already seen that we need to apply a common signal to both the places. So here we have a VCM of 1 volt, and V in 1 and V in 2 are exactly the same. You can see that both are 100 millivolts and 1 kilohertz, and the second one is also 100 millivolts and 1 kilohertz. But if you look at the polarity, they are going to be different. They are of opposite polarity. So when you are making this entire circuit, at that time the power supply voltage should be 5 volts, and care should be taken that the body terminal of the NMOS transistors that you have used are connected to ground. Now some information regarding the MOS is also here, that is here NMOS is like having a threshold voltage of 0.5 volts, and the value of Kp, that is mu and Cox, is 100 into 10 raised to minus 6 amperes per volt square. And these are the branches where we are going to measure V out 1 and V out 2. So you can label this as V out 1 and this branch as V out 2. So I will give you like 5 minutes to build this circuit, and then you all will put the circuit in the chat box, and then we will see the simulation of this particular circuit. Now please name this circuit properly. Please name the circuits properly, because the next circuit would be something similar. We are going to add or subtract something to this circuit itself. So this circuit you make it properly with all the nomenclatures. See here, when you write W by L, this blue line is a comment. So by writing like this, you will not be able to actually set that W by L inside this MOSFET, but you need to right click on this, and there you will get an option of width and length. There you have to set the W and L. So please do this. Once done, put your screenshots in the chat box, and then only we will go ahead. In the meantime, any doubts? please ask. The MOSFET that you will use is NMOS4. You will use the MOSFET as NMOS4. Don't use this NMOS. If you use this NMOS, source and body are shorted. We want each and every terminal to be like, we should be able to connect it to where we want. That is why NMOS4. Uh, so this is actually our circuit, but actually the gain of this circuit, that is the differential gain, is 2 times of Rd upon 1 by Gm1 plus 1 by Gm2. But actually Gm1 and Gm2 are the same. The values of resistances and the W by Ls of the transistors are the same. So that is why this thing actually becomes like this. AD is 2 times of Rd upon 1 by Gm1 plus 1 by Gm2, and here it becomes minus Gm times of R. So the gain equation of the differential amplifier is more or less similar to that of the common source amplifier. The only advantage that we need to observe is that the amplification in the presence of noise is Very good. So please put this. Any problems in like picking up a component or connecting something or setting the value of a source to some value like that? Please tell me that. I am slightly more interested in that, because in the lab we are not interested too much in theory, but we are interested definitely in the technical traits. Okay, very good. Rohan, just one question to you. Can you also show me like this, like what is the W by L that you have set inside?
Yes, sir.
Because many times what happens is we name it, but we forget to set that ratio inside. So if you have done that, good. So see here, Rohan, what you have done is instead of length you have put width, and instead of width you have put length. Can you correct that? W by L ratio is 100 by 2, not L by W.
Yes, I've corrected that.
Good. Okay, those also has done it. Okay, good, great. Yes, I'll wait here another 2 minutes more, and then I'll keep the circuit and we'll just go ahead with the analysis. Okay. Now let's go further. So what I am doing here is we are doing a transient analysis. 5 milliseconds means we will be seeing 5 cycles of the signal, because the time period of the signal that we have selected is 1 kilohertz, and 1 kilohertz signal will have a time period of 1 milliseconds. And if we write here dot tran 0 to 5 milliseconds, it means we are actually telling Spice that show me 5 cycles of the signal. So you can now run this analysis. So what you will see is this. Now I will divide this trace. So I'll just magnify this. So I'll add 4 plot planes. I'll add 4 plot planes. In the first plot plane, we will plot V in 1 and V in 2. So what you should observe here is that the central value is 1 volt, and V in 1 and V in 2 are 180 degrees out of phase. Then here you can plot, V out 1 and V out 2. Now you can see when you apply V in 1, you get V out 1. So V in 1, which is the green waveform, and V out 1, which is the red waveform, are also 180 degree out of phase. Now this is because differential amplifier is a combination of two CS amplifiers, and like CS amplifiers, here also there will be a phase shift of 180 degrees between the input and the output. Now we are not really interested in the differential the individual inputs and the outputs, but we are interested in the difference. So here I will now plot. So I am saying trace V in 1 minus V in 1 minus V in 2. So this is the sinusoidal signal V in 1 minus V in 2. And now let's plot here V out 1 minus V out 2. So now you can see, if you like see the trace here, you will get the signal amplitudes. So if you carefully move the plot here, so this is going to be like 200 millivolts, okay, and this is going to be like minus 200. So the peak to peak swing is going to be around 400 millivolts. And if you look at the V out, then here the maximum voltage is 2.1 and here it is around minus 2.1, so 4.2 volts. So what you can understand from this is that what you can understand from this is that V1, V in 1 minus V in 2 is 400 millivolts and V out 1 minus V out 2 is 4.1 volts, or rather 4.2 volts. So 4.2 upon 400 millivolts, 10 raised to minus 3. So that is going to be your voltage gain. So that will be 4.2 upon 0.4. So if you like calculate this, it will be like 10.05. So this should be the gain of the amplifier. That is, the gain of the amplifier is 10. Now this is the observed value. So you can also calculate the value of the calculated value. So the formula is Gm times of Rd, and Gm is going to be 2 mu n Cox W by L times of Id. And when you substitute the values of all this, mu n Cox is just one value. This is W by L 100 by 2 and Id is 0.5 because ISS is 1 milliampere. So either ID1 or ID2 will be half of it. So that is what we get here. And if you like solve this, can somebody tell me what is the value of Gm quickly? Can somebody solve this? So yes, what is the value? Okay. So 2.2360, 10 raised to minus 3, and the value of Rd is 5 kilo ohms. So Gm times of Rd AV is going to be 2.236 into 5, that 10 raised to minus 3 and 10 raised to 3 will cancel. So here you will get how much? Can you tell me quickly? 2.25 will be like 10.5, 11.5, 11.18. ठीक है, 10 and 11 are pretty close to each other. So This is the value that we are expecting. However, depending on what frequency you operate, there might be a slight change in the value of gains. But it should come close, it should not come very far. So I'm just minimizing this. Now you will show me like this, the circuit as well as the waveforms. Now I want to see both circuit and waveform. Okay, Jos. Okay, so I'm good. Are you getting the gain that by calculation also you should get it? Okay. Okay. Now let us go to the next circuit. So differential, the main thing in differential amplifier is that they are very useful in noise removals. Okay. So now you can see this circuit is pretty much the same. The W by L's are the same. But now what you can see here is that we have introduced a noise signal. And generally a noise signal is a high frequency signal. So you can see that if my main signal is of 1 kilohertz, then my noise signal is of slightly higher frequency. If my main signal is 100 millivolts, then my noise signal is of 10 millivolts. So please do like this, and then we will go ahead. Come on. So this is our like noise signal 2. This way. Come on, build this circuit quickly. And again here we have V out 1 and V out 2. Okay, so what is this condition? Very clearly right here. Basic MOSFET differential amplifier with noise at the input. So I told you that noise will get cancelled if everything is symmetric. So let's see that whether it's doing it or not. So I'm trying to convince you that okay, differential amplifier will give the same gain even in the presence of a noise signal. First, first you post the circuit, then we will see the Now let us see the dot tran analysis. I am again running this thing. So we will expand this, and here again we will divide it into 4 plot planes. Now in the first one, like I said, we will put V in 1 and V in 2. We have not named it, so let's name it. V in 1, V in 2. So here I'll add the traces V in 1 and V in 2. So now you can see there is a lot of noise in this signal. And if you like zoom this thing, you can see that this is how the noise actually looks. Then you can add V out 1 and V out 2 as well. So you can see that V out 1 and V out 2 will also have some kind of noise. And here, when you see the difference, so V in 1 minus V in 2 is this, and when I add the trace, V out 1 minus V out 2, so you can see that even if the input is noisy, the output is not noisy. So can you see that what has happened? So now I want you to show me this circuit and the outputs. Soham, your noise signal is not of 100 kilohertz, it is of 1 kilohertz only. So it is actually not creating a noise. See, this has to be 100 kilohertz. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Sayan, your output is correct. Rohan, your see, one of the noise source is giving a noise of 1 kilohertz, the other is giving a noise of 100 kilohertz. So there is no symmetry. That is why probably you are getting an output like this.
Okay, sir, I'll change and try again.
You got it?
Yes, sir.
Good. And obviously here the values are going to be like the same. The calculated and the observed values of gain are almost the same. That should not be any problem there. Okay. How much is your dot trend? Rohan, your dot trend is I think 0.05. So make it to 5.
Yes, sir.
That is why you are able to see only half the cycle of the signal. The output is correct, but while putting it in your manual, you have to like put it a little bit properly. So at least you put 3 or 4 cycles. So जरूरी नहीं है कि 5 milliseconds, but there should be some sizable amount of cycles. Okay. Tanvi, let me check your output. Tanvi, see here. This noise signal is 10 millivolts. This should also be 10 millivolts. Got it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I will correct it.
Here, this should be 100 kilohertz. So whenever a symmetry is violated, noise is not cancelled. Remember like that. Whenever symmetry is violated, differential amplifier does not cancel the noise. So the way to remove the noise is by two ways. There are two ways of removing the noise. One is using a filter. So you can use different kinds of filters, LC filter, RC filter, whatever. There are many filtering techniques. And the simplest way of removing noise is by cancellation. So if we know the little bit nature of the noise, that okay, the same noise is getting associated with the two pins because the circuit is exposed to the same disturbance, then we can think about cancellation, because cancellation is easy, and filtering means you have to put an additional filtering circuit, and not every filter will remove the noise completely. So again, we measure something called as like ripple factor and all those things. So this is the simplest way of, or I will say this is the simplest technique of implementing a noise free amplifier, that is by maintaining symmetry and constructing a differential kind of an amplifier. Tanvi, are you getting the output now?
Yes, sir. I'm getting V in one correctly.
Okay, good. So you can do any number of mistakes here, no problem. But don't do it in the exam. In the exam, you know, there is no scope for correction of mistake. That is the thing. But so you make mistakes here where we can correct them. So what we will do is we will call this as our last experiment, and in the next week we will be doing an experiment on power amplifiers, but that submission of that experiment will be optional. Okay, if you wish to submit, you submit, but so I think, is that okay, Soham? Because I don't want you to start making something at the last moment. अंडरस्टैंडिंग हो गया, बहुत हो गया. Okay, so now you are getting it correct. Good.
Yes, sir, it's okay if you give us the assignment.
So our semester actually ends on 11th, but anyways, we'll take some 15 days off. Anyways, this batch has not got enough of rest. Right from the day you have joined engineering, you are running. So let's have some pauses. That is also required.
Yes, sir.
Okay, this is Soham's output. Okay, that's fine. Now, those who have completed this, so in this particular case, the noise was in the input signal. Now what you can do is, you can put the noise in the power supply. So the noise signal was connected in series with the input signal. Now you connect the noise signal in series with the supply. So I'll just show you how the circuit will look. So this is the thing here. Now we are going to put that. Can you see here? I removed the noisy signal from here. I removed the noise signals from both these places and I connected it with series with the power supply. So here again what we can do is, so first you build this circuit, then we'll go ahead. And all the regular nomenclatures have to be here. Out 1 and this is V out 2. We are only doing naming this so that it's slightly easier for us to trace later on. So please construct this circuit. Again, take care that length and width are proper. Length should be 2, width should be 100. Yes, so start building this and post this in the chat box. Okay, Jose, since you have made the circuit, can you go ahead with the 4 plots? I will just wait here for others. Again, you can see here that this noise, you make it not 100, make it 10 millivolts. So noise in the power supply, let's make it 100 only, because 100 is means in 5 volts we are creating a variation of 0.1 volts. Now I'm just running this. So if you run this, I'm adding the 4 planes. So here first we add V in V2, then we add V out 1, V out 2. So naturally the V out 1, what is the formula for V out 1? VDD minus IDRD. So if VDD is having noise, actually V out 1 and V out 2 will also have noise. Now let's add the trace here. V out 1, and first we will add V in 1, V in 2, but we want the difference, and here we will add trace V out 1, V out 2. So you can see that in spite of individually V out 1 and V out 2 is having some noise, the difference does not have any. Yes, correct. Rohan output is good, correct. Jose, your output is also correct. So now I want you to show me this circuit and the waveforms. Yes, I am. So if you look at the output individually, V out 1, if you operate in single-ended operation, there can be lot of noise. But if you take the difference, then the noise is going to be very less. So you can take examples of your mobile phones, your digital watches, and any mobile app, any mobile device that you use. There the supply is coming from the battery, and many times there can be a noise on the battery lines, and to tackle that we can go for differential amplifiers. So differential amplifier handles two things. It can handle or get rid of the noise at the inputs, and it can also get rid of the power supply noise. This is the reason why this amplifier is so famous. So now whenever you say amplifier, we don't say CS or CS, CG kind of amplifiers. We always say that, okay, show me a differential amplifier. Because now we have seen that the differential amplifier performs very well in the presence of noise. Now what if both the noises are there together? What if there is a noise in the input as well as the output?
Sir?
Yes?
Sir, I don't get how a battery can create noise.
See, what happens is, I will tell you, battery doesn't create noise, but I said the battery lines can create the noise. So let us say that we have a battery here. Can you see my screen?
Yes, sir, it's visible.
So we have a battery, let's say plus and minus. So generally this like plus line is your VDD line, and this line is your ground line. Now your circuits are connected between the VDD and the ground. So all circuits will require some VDD and some ground. So what happens is, generally the wires are modeled as resistances, but actually inside an IC, this wire can also offer an inductance. these wires can also offer what? Inductance. Because these wires are very small, they are in microns. Okay. So let us say if there are like 1 million circuits, circuit 1, circuit 2 and so on. So if like let us say circuit 1 is switching, then what it happens, it generates, if there is it takes the current from this line or it doesn't take. But these lines behave as inductors, or they don't behave as inductors, but they offer some kind of inductance. So that is the reason why on this line we should actually get a perfectly flat value of a DC signal on the VDD. But because there are many circuits connected to VDD and ground, we get a fluctuation on these lines. So it is more or less flat only, but we don't know which circuit will switch when, because there are many circuits which will be requiring VDD and ground. So it creates a ripple on the VDD line, and this ripple is also called as power supply bounce. Actually what we are seeing is the problem is called as power supply bounce. So instead of I telling you to design a million circuits and then make them switch, what I am telling you to see is you only create a variation and see whether the output is clean or not. So when the variation is created on the power supply line, it is called as power supply bounce, and when switching is going to create some variation on the ground line, so something similar can happen to the ground line also. So that is called as a ground bounce. So differential amplifiers are immune to power supply bounce and ground bounce. Did you understand that, Rohan?
Yes, sir, I got it.
And this is when the signal voltage is large, let us say when your VDD is 15 volts or 20 volts, this is not that significant. But when the VDD is small, like in your phone, your battery voltage will be 3.3 volts. So on a 3.3 volts, 0.1 volt is significant. But on a 15 or 20 volts, 0.1 volt is variation is not that significant.
Understood.
Okay, please put this outputs, and now you will build a circuit with both noise at the input as well as noise in the power supply. Okay, Tanvi, your output is okay. Tanvi, but what I would like you to do is, instead of putting a 10 millivolt signal here, see here, because what you are trying to actually do is you are trying to create a variation on the power supply line. So here our input was 100 millivolts. So on that 10 millivolts was creating sufficient variation. But here my power supply is 5 volts. So 10 millivolts won't create much variation. So just to see the variation, you make it 100 millivolts. Circuit is correct, only value will change so that you can actually observe something like this, something like a good amount of noise which gets
Yes, sir.
captured. Got it, Tanvi?
Yes, sir.
So now I am going to, let's say, circuit number 5. So now you can see here there is a noise on the input as well as the output. So now both input and output are corrupted, but still their differences are not corrupted. Come on, build this circuit and post it in the chat box. So we'll just take a 10 minutes break. Okay, 1 hour has passed by, so we'll resume back at 2:20. It's 2:10 now. So we'll, in the meantime, if you are not doing anything, just draw this. Okay, so let's see this. Okay, good. Everybody is making this common mistake. Rohan, again in that diagram, your noise signal is should be 100 kilohertz, not 1 kilohertz. Here, noise should be 100.
Yes, I'll make the changes.
So let me simulate this. So you can see now input is also noisy. Output is also noisy. V in 1 minus V in 2. Out 1 minus V. So again you can see that the difference is, so now here this is a scenario where there is severe noise, that is there is a noise in the input as well as the supply, but still differential amplifier performs well. So now I want you to show me this. Okay, Soham Jose, your output is correct.
Sir,
Yes.
sir, I have posted one screenshot. Sir, I have removed the second the other noise signal, and so can that condition occur?
Yeah, because you can see here, see here. Actually noise is there, but on one noise is more, on another noise is less. So that is because you can see here it is 10 millivolts and here it is 100 millivolts.
Yes, sir. So the differential amplifier fails to remove the noise.
Yes, yes. And so because symmetry got violated. So this amplifier works based on the principle of symmetry. If symmetry is violated, no noise will not be removed. It does not filter out the noise, but it cancels out the noise.
Okay, sir. Understood. Thank you.
Okay, Tanvi, this output is correct. Good. So now you all are doing fewer mistakes. Now see here, I have replaced the resistances by PMOS. Now there are no resistances, there are only MOSFETs. There are no resistances, there are only MOSFETs. So the resistance that a MOSFET will offer, so you can see here the drain and gate are shorted. The drain and the gate are shorted. So when the drain and the gate are shorted, at that time this PMOS will behave like a resistance, and the resistance offered by the PMOS is 1 by Gm parallel to R0. If lambda tends to infinity, lambda tends to 0, R0 tends to infinity, and the resistance is simply 1 by G. So now you remove that resistance and again see what is the input and the output. And then we have V out. And here we have V out too. So this is called as a active load differential amplifier. So many times resistance will consume huge area when you are making an IC, and if you want to like fabricate a resistance will consume typically 100 times the area which is required as compared to a transistor. So we prefer to make transistors instead of resistances, and that is why this topology where we want to get the same effect but without using resistances. Now you can see the body of PMOS is not connected to ground, but it is connected to VDD, and the body of all NMOS is connected to ground. So the PMOS whose drain and gate is shorted actually behaves like a resistance only. It behaves like a resistance only. What is the W by L of this PMOS? Same, 100 by 2. See, all the MOSFETs are having a W by L of 100/2. Yes, post this circuit in the output, and now onwards we will keep both the noise sources, that is power supply noise as well as input signal noise. Okay, Rohan, good. Maintain the values of the noise. Okay, and now let's simulate it. V in 1 minus V in 2. So noise is gone. So now you can again see that it's noise free, output is noise free. But the problem with this circuit is that the gain also falls. Okay, if you look here, it is the gain is just double of what it is. Initially gain was 10, now again it has reduced. So that is because maybe the 1 by GM is not giving a sufficient value which is comparable to the value of RD. Let's see whether this noise is now separable or not. Mean one minus a into Vout 1. That's also possible. Yeah. So here you can see that the PMOS amplifier is, the PMOS loads will give a better, much more higher gain than the NMOS ones. Okay, that is the moral of the story here. So either you can have a PMOS load or a NMOS load. Now circuit number 8 and 9 are really interesting. So you can see this is called as a current source load. Okay, this is called as what? A current source load. So now M3 is now acting like a current source, and I'll just close this. And to boost the gain further, gains further, so we are having a current source and a PMOS load. Okay, so this is like the ultimate differential amplifier. Now why this is done? Okay, that's the question. So I'll tell you here. So let's say if this is your differential amplifier. Okay, so this is your RD. So here we have V in 1, V in 2, and here we have ID1 and ID2. Now what happens is that when we apply here V in 1, my ID changes accordingly to this RD. So V out 1, let's say this is my V out 1 and this is V out 2. So V out 1 is VDD minus ID1 RD. So if my V in changes, my ID1 also changes, and because of which my V out changes. So if my ID1 increases, my V out 1 also is going to decrease. Now we wanted a method like if I increase my RD, so AV is GM times of RD. So if I increase my RD, what happens is gain tries to increase, but gain cannot increase beyond a certain point because it reaches a something called as a headroom problem. That is, it cannot increase beyond the value of VDD. So somebody suggested that can we have a circuit where we will be able to like keep the value of the current the same, but increase the value of the resistance. So coming here, I'll just take this circuit. So this part of the circuit, this part is like a current source, and this is behaving like a resistance. This is a resistance, and this is basically between this point and this point we are having a current source. So here we are having a So if you look at this top circuit, we are having a resistance in parallel with the current source, and here also we are having a resistance in parallel with the current source. So the basic idea of the current source is to regulate the value of gain to ensure that my GM does not change. If GM changes, then AV changes. Okay, and the aim of this R is to ensure that RD does not change. So here through this resistance, we are giving a fixed value of RD. Through this GM, we are ensuring that the GM value is independent of ID, and the GM value does not get affected because the current through this resistance changes, because now we have made a constant current source there. So this is basically like the ultimate differential amplifier. Everything be above this point is a load. So in this case, the load is a constant current source. In the previous case, we saw the loads were resistances and PMOS and NMOS, whose drain and gate were shorted. Now it's a combination of current source and shorted loads is this particular amplifier. So this is like the ultimate amplifier. So here in 1, this is V in 2. And here we have V out 1, and this is V out 2. So you can see now the gain equations and all. So first you make this and then you make this. So what I'll do is now I'll give you all the 9 differential circuits. Okay, so these are the files. So can you simulate these things now? I mean, they're very simple. The procedure is the same. The only thing is that you will have to now build these circuits. Soham, can you confirm whether you got the files?
Yes, sir. All 9 files are here.
Okay. So why I have given you this is so that any amplifier which you face, you should be able to test it under different noisy conditions.
Excuse me, sir.
So if you want, I'll test the ultimate differential amplifier. This is V in 1 and V in 2. V out 1 and V out. So the performance is good, and similarly we can also see for the differential amplifier with the current source load. V in 2. This is V out 1, V out 2. So here you can put your places. Here you can plot the difference, and here so now I am plotting both the circuits together just for your reference, but I think more than the waveform, the circuit is going to be more important. So like what is the difference? You can see here that the current source load gives a higher gain as compared to the this one, but this is like a more stable kind of an amplifier. Okay, so it's 3 o'clock and we have seen many differential amplifier circuits, but the main aim is to convince you that differential amplifier works well in all the scenarios, that is even if there is noise at the input as well as in the power supply. So that's it from my side. Thank you.